So guys, I finally decided to give away all the sauce for free. This is gonna be my longest YouTube video to date, and in this video I'm gonna be breaking down for you guys all the sauce on exactly how you can get to 10K per month as a barber using my cash flow cut system. This is the exact blueprint that I used to go from making $12 an hour to Chipotle to starting cutting hair to now charging over $100, getting paid 15K per month as a barber. I used to raise my prices from $40 a haircut to $100 a haircut in just over 1 year. And not only did this system work for me, but just to prove that it wasn't luck, I went ahead and I applied it to dozens of other barbers. My clients who are using this cash flow cut barber system are charging anywhere from $75 to $100 per haircut and making well over 10K per month while getting paid passively on TikTok. People like Joka, who went from $40 a cut to $75 a cut in just a few months, or Jeff, who's doing $3,000 a week cutting hair at just 18 years old, or even Chunk the barber, who went from $40 a cut to $100 a cut in less than 3 months of working with us using the cash flow cut system. In this video, you guys are going to learn exactly how to build a personal brand that has other brands reaching out to you to collaborate, how to post content that actually turns viewers into clients without having to copy everybody else, how to successfully raise your prices without losing any clients, and eventually how to scale to passive income and monetize yourself on TikTok. And this isn't for lazy barbers looking for quick tips or free game and no action. I intend that you guys actually apply this sauce to yourself. So as I said, it's going to be a value-packed video. Make sure you guys are taking notes, grab a pen and paper, because we're going to dive straight into it and give out so much value. Honestly guys, I just got tired of seeing people gatekeep all this information online and try and sell courses, so I just decided to give away the entire thing to y'all for free. And to be completely transparent, I'm in this for the long game, right? My eventual hope is that you guys will reach out for help implementing this system into your own business. But I'm not here to take anything without providing value first. I want to provide upfront value to you guys and show you guys exactly how this cash flow cut system works and how it's changing the lives of dozens of other barbers that I've been working with. So watch this while you're focused, eliminate distractions, and take notes. This video is worth thousands of dollars that normal people are going to charge you money for. And if you apply it, you are going to win. So most of you guys are probably thinking to yourself right now, like, who is this guy? It's just another barber on IG trying to sell me another course. And I wouldn't blame you, because the market is pretty cooked right now. But this is where I started. I was in the garage doing free haircuts, $5 haircuts right here. I was working at Chipotle, closing late night, just washing dishes, taking out the trash, all the work that nobody really ever wants to do. Just was not fun work overall, obviously, right? We're doing some haircuts on like my little brother, some friends, because nobody trusted me back then, right? And then what happened is, you know, we kind of started to grow the business. Went into senior year, started charging like 25, 15, 10, 25. I think we even got to 40 back in high school. I'm charging 40 my senior year of high school. So I kind of thought I was him. I had all this ego because it's like I'm making $40 an hour. But we ended up getting into a shop around this time, right? And I ended up buying my first car cash while still being in high school. And honestly, I was just super proud of myself at the time, right? Like, we're doing pretty well, booked out at $40 a cut, making pretty good money, like 5-6K a month while still being in high school, right? But eventually we kept going and we finally got to the point where we are now. $100 haircuts, right? You guys can see here, I even moved out of my parents' house and bought my own place at 19 years old, now living alone. And I say all of this not to like brag or not to flex on you guys, but literally just to show you guys what is achievable with barbering when you go all in and take it seriously, right? Like, this was, you guys can see right here, 2023, I was making $12 an hour working at Chipotle. Like, I was doing free haircuts on my brother, on friends. Like, I literally was not. And now, like I said, we're down here and we did this. Barbering changed everything for me, right? But was this all just luck, right? Is this just, I just got lucky? No. Is this something that's really achievable for anybody? Well, luckily for you guys, it is. And these are some of the people that I've been working with using my cash flow cut system over the last few months. And as you guys can see, there's too much to even go into, but let's dive into it, right? Mel, more than 10x their following, from 1K to 18K, monetized on TikTok, getting paid for the content she posts. Dario, more than 10x his following in just a month. Jeff, also 10x his following in a few months. And Seth, also more than 10x his following. So what does this mean, right? Well, obviously that proves that this wasn't luck, right? But followers are cool and all. But what really matters is income, because at the end of the day, this is a business and we're trying to make money, right? Well, Mel went from 6K per month to now hitting her first 10K month this July. Daryl is 15 years old and he went from around under 2-3K per month to on pace to hit 5K per month. Seth as well, still in high school, went from around like 1K per month to about to be at 6K per month from cutting hair. And we continue replicating these results. Jeff went from 3K per month to on pace to now hit 12K per month, and he's just 18 years old. And it just keeps going on and on, right? I could be here all day. I mean, Chunk the Barber's OG barber, been cutting for 10 years, and he was still charging 40, and he went from 40 to 100 in just about 4 months. And Larry has been working with us for just 1 month, and he's almost doubled his haircut prices from $40 to $70 per haircut. So I show you guys this to show you guys that these results are easy to achieve with the right system, right? This is not something that was just a one-off thing. This was not some crazy, like, lucky break that I had. And I went ahead and systemized the process for you guys. And like I said, I could be here all day just showing you guys the wins that the people in our Cash Flow Barbers community get working with us. But in the meantime, like, I kind of want to go ahead and dive into you, right? Watching this, you're probably a barber. You're probably charging around, what most of our other clients are charging right now, right? You're probably charging like 40 to 50 per haircut, right? You're already probably posting content every day, but your content is probably not bringing in clients, right? Your content is probably not bringing in enough clients. And so there's really a few simple reasons that I'm going to cover in here on why that's the case. And if you guys want even more detail, I recommend clicking on my page and going through the rest of the stuff. But without further ado, right, the main reasons, like I said, is your content's not bringing enough clients, right? You're probably stuck around like 5K per month, and I was there too. Like, I was literally in this position that you guys were in at one time, right? I was stuck before too. And so I know exactly what it takes to get past this $40, $50 haircut mark and actually get to be exceptional. Because you guys see all these barbers online making all this money, charging these crazy prices, and you're probably confused on how they got there, right? It just comes down to the right system. It just comes down to understanding business. These barbers here, Jeff, Mel, Seth, Dario, half of them are probably younger than you, and they're most definitely no different than you, right? David has been cutting hair for 10 years. And if he can do social media and learn social media after 10 years of cutting hair, charge 100, there's no excuse for anybody else, right? This video has taken me about a week to get ready. There's a ton of value in here. We're going to be going over everything that it really took to get these results, plus more in-depth videos on my YouTube. So I hope you guys find the value in this. I don't want to be out here selling a course like every single other barber, and I just want to show you guys the value that we bring, right, with the cash flow cut system. So hopefully, again, this is valuable for you guys, and go ahead and dive right into the video without further ado. It's going to be just a ton of value, so make sure, as I said, you have your pencil, you have your paper, and you're ready to take notes. And yeah, let's get into it, guys. All right, guys, so whether your goal is 15K, 10K a month, right, $100 a cut, doesn't matter. You guys are going to use this 5-step system to go from where you're currently at to where you want to be. So everybody's going to start here, right? But overall, you need to plan out the next 3, 6, and 1 year, right? 6 months, 3 months, 1 year of your business and exactly where you want to be. The more clear you can make this, the more defined you can make this goal, better off you're going to be, right? Because how are we going to get anywhere if we don't have a clear picture of where we're going, right? Second, we're going to apply all these content fundamentals, right? If you need to, you're going to go back and relearn content fundamentals, lighting, how to record hair falling clips, right? How to censor your stuff, how to remove dead space, all these fundamentals, right? If you guys already have a good idea of that and you guys are already posting daily, we're going to actually build systems and make a content funnel using the cash flow cut system, right? What this means is that you're not just going to be posting every day aimlessly. You're going to have a proven system. But first, before this proven system works, unfortunately, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You have to go through a testing stage, right? We have to find out what works for you, what works on your page. There's not a cookie cutter strategy. There's not a one size fits all, right? But once we finally find, and this is the hardest part, right? This is like the valley of despair that most people don't make it past because they just can't stay disciplined to get past the testing stage. This could take up to, a few months, right? Once you guys finally are going viral, converting clients, right? Finding that stage, we double down. We do what we did before, but we do it better. And this is exactly where you guys must stay the most consistent, is going harder on the same system that's already worked, but scaling it, right? So not only showing up every day, but raising the standards, doing better than you did last day, every single day. Should be at a spot, right, in the business after all this, where if we probably are kind of booked, we're going to go up in price immediately, right? We're going to increase our price so that we can free up more spaces because we want to be around 85% booked so that clients can pay more, right? We don't want to have all these old cheap clients. We want to get rid of some of them because if we're fully booked, right, if we're always too busy, it's not really going to do anything for us, right? If we're too busy, how are we going to book new clients? How are we going to grow? We're just stagnant if we're, booked out weeks in advance or even days in advance, right? If there was a recent price raise, give yourself 60 to 90 days max to refill back up the business, fully booked out. of new clients every single month at your new price point. But after we do this, we should be smooth, right? And at this point, you just rinse and repeat this process until you get to your desired price. And then you guys can kind of lean back, figure out how to build a longevity with this business, right? So all through this stage, you should have been giving top quality service, right? Nurturing your clients, auto booking appointments, right? Building relationships with them. And at this point, you should be able to retain your clients. If you're at 100 a car, or even your goal price, right? 150. At this point, or even a little bit before, you need to start building a team and delegating. Why? Because you don't want to be doing all these tasks yourself, editing, posting, right? Best thing you could do in any business is build a team, get people, outsource this work like posting and editing, stuff like that, messaging clients to somebody that actually is going to do it better than you. And this way you're free to just do what you do best, which is record and post, right? Or record and cut hair, sorry. Second step is going to be building an undeniable brand, beginning to collect passive income off of TikTok, brand deals, and just overall growing your personal brand beyond barbering, right? We want to actually make you someone who has a personal brand, right? And lastly, build lifelong connectionships and relationships with high-paying clients that bring value into your life. Once you guys get to the point where you're servicing high-value clients, have connections with them. You want to see how you can benefit from them and how they can mutually benefit from you. And you want to be able to keep these as long-term clients and have that mutual, benefit from each other. So again, key to all this, bottom line, once you get to this point where you have your systems in place, provide a good service, build a relationship, right? Fundamentals, give a good haircut, actually care about building relationship with your client, right? Care about how the client is doing. But we can't get to this point, kind of maintain, if we don't do this aggressive 90-day sprint at the beginning where we're growing the business as aggressively as possible and just getting, over 1% better every single day. Biggest thing through this whole process is raising our bare minimum standards and understanding that, if we dip below a certain amount of effort or if we dip below a certain amount of inputs, we're just not going to get the desired result, right? So inputs come first, then we can worry about having the result. Once we have the result, we can worry about maintaining it. What is up, you guys? Today we're going to be going over exactly everything that you need to know about exactly how to grow your content, how to post, what you need to be focusing on to actually get 1% better every day. So firstly, we want to focus on mainly two platforms, TikTok and IG. Now, TikTok, this is important. TikTok is our main focus. I see a lot of you guys focusing on IG a lot. TikTok is our main focus because that's what's actually going to get us to scale. The IG is like low-hanging fruit that we can just kind of capitalize on, right? It's pretty easy. Most of you guys already have a follower on there, but TikTok is what is going to get us to scale. That's going to set us apart, right? That's what's going to really push us out double the amount of any other barber, because 90% of barbers are only using either IG or TikTok. Very few barbers are consistently taking that extra 5 minutes to actually post and market daily on both. Now, both platforms need to be fed daily and it can be done with the same content. You guys don't need to make different content for TikTok versus Instagram. You can do the exact same content, right? Post on TikTok and IG taking like 5 extra minutes, right? One of the biggest mistakes I see you guys making is only focusing on one platform, right? We don't want to focus on just IG or just TikTok. Oh, I'm just a TikTok barber. I'm just an Instagram barber, right? You're focusing on daily marketing yourself on both, and that is on TikTok stories, TikToks, and then Instagram stories and Instagram reels 4 times per day, marketing yourself in 4 different ways. That's going to really be able to run up the amount of new clients that we can book. Another thing too, guys, post on TikTok first, right? Then take an extra 5 minutes to just go ahead, head over to Instagram and post on there, right? But we need to get the TikTok out. A lot of you guys forget TikTok. It does typically take longer to post on there. So always post on TikTok first and go head over to IG. Gear post on there as well. Another huge thing, when you guys are in this content growing phase, you must be checking in with me at least once a week on Q&A calls to go over content, right? Because you guys can follow all these modules, all these videos right here, right? But if you guys do not have a custom plan from checking in with me, at least, like I said, checking in with me at least 1 time per week, we're not going to get very far, right? Because again, for me to customize your plan, I need to actually interact with you and see you on the calls, be checking in with you, kind of see where you're at in your business and actually be able to point you in the right direction. Like I said, if you're on every single call of mine as well as watching the recordings, that is preferred, right? We have, as of now, this is subject to change, but as of now, we have 2 weekly group calls and also our weekly one-on-one calls. So if you guys are not showing up to the one-on-one calls and the group calls, at least show up to 1 group call and the one-on-one calls per week, right, guys? If you guys do not know where that is, you go ahead and head over to calendar. You can see all the schedules. The one-on-one calls are not in the calendar, but everyone should know when their time is. We always announce it on calls. We message. My assistant Joan reaches out to you guys and lets you know exactly when your calls are. So you guys need to block out time for Thursday, Monday, and Wednesday, every single time, 1 hour. Like I said, I need you guys to be talking to me, right? I can't really give you much help. I can't really point you guys in the right direction if I don't even know what's going on. So make sure you guys are coming to the calls, speaking up, raising your hand, and asking for help. because again, the whole point of you guys joining this program and working with me is to be able to actually get feedback and input from me, right? You've seen the results I did with other barbers and you kind of want the same thing. Again, if you guys are just going through the modules, maybe just lurking in the group chat, but you guys are not actually speaking up and asking questions and coming to these calls with questions and proposed solutions, you're going to be behind, right? The most effective way to do this is to show up to the calls with issues that you're facing, be studying your content, and actually coming up with a proposed solution so you can run it by me. Again, guys, I can't stress this enough. The people who get the most success working with me are the ones who prioritize every single Q&A call, always show up early, ask their questions, and overall just kind of solve their own problems and run those problems by me, right? So again, guys, I don't want to hear, oh, I'm too busy cutting, I couldn't make it to the call because I have haircuts, right? At the end of the day, we're barbers. We control our own schedule. There is no excuse not to have 1 hour, 2 times per week to show up to these group calls and put your full attention on them. Because even if you don't have a question, right? Even if you already asked your question, you could always learn from somebody else's question. You could always just be present at least for 1 hour, guys. So if you guys are not doing the bare minimum of showing up and asking questions, there is not much I can do for you guys in terms of help. Again, I highly recommend you guys go to the calendar, block off time in your calendar 3 times per week and prioritize these above everything. Why? Because if we're not prioritizing these, we're not moving the business forward, right? Yes, 1 hour you might be losing out on a haircut, but where is a haircut getting you? Is that helping grow the business? Yes or no? At the end of the day, this is what's going to help grow the business, get you out of your situation. So these are top priority over everything else. Lastly, guys, some big mistakes I see you guys making, some pitfalls to avoid. Number one, not checking in with me weekly. A lot of you guys do not show up to the calls. I see you guys maybe every once in a while, right? See a lot of barbers kind of get in here, don't check in. Well, don't complain when you don't see the best progress, right? The ones who make the most progress are always checking with me weekly. Why? This way I can point them in the right direction, right? Give them a quick custom game plan of exactly what needs to happen for this week so they can actually make progress and not stay in the same spot. Number two is not following to a T the content and basics of recording, editing, and posting, all stuff that's included in here that I teach in the modules. So even if you guys feel like you already know how to record, edit, post, I'm willing to bet that there's something that's missing for you guys. So make sure that you guys actually go through every single module, follow it to a T, right? Watch it in 2 times speed if you need to, right? Watch it in 1.5 times speed, watch it over and over, and actually go back, study your content. Lastly, not posting daily and not reviewing your content daily. So a lot of you guys actually make the mistake of not posting daily, think I'm gonna post every other day or once a week. No, right? As I said, both of these platforms need to be fed daily to keep you in the algorithms, to keep your engagement high. Stop posting daily and you're going to see the consequences of that, right? So we need to be feeding both of our platforms daily. It's not hard if you guys actually plan this out. And again, on the calls, you guys should kind of see how that should look. Lastly, not reviewing your content daily or studying to make improvements, right? Same way you need to block off time for these calls. You guys need to make sure you're blocking off time to studying your content, looking at what spiked, what did well, what you need to improve on, and how you can actually improve your content, get 1% better every day, right? We don't want to be stuck in the same spot for weeks on end. We want to make sure we're getting 1% better every single day. So don't only rely on me to give you feedback. Don't only rely on me to provide solutions to your problems. You guys need to review your content, right? Try and problem solve yourself. And these are the people that are going to do the best in this program, right? The ones who actually try and solve their own problems as well and not just relying on me. So again, you need to review your own content daily, study others' content daily, and that's how you're going to get the actual best results, maximize your output out of this program. At this point, you guys should know you need to post daily on your stories, right? What are these called? Daily story posts, or the fancy business word for them is called retargeting posts, right? This is what they look like. Why do we do retargeting posts? What are retargeting posts, and how exactly can we specifically, break down all the components of retargeting posts so we're making sure we're doing it right, that it actually works, right? Firstly, a retargeting post just means that it's directly retargeting your followers, right? It's directing people to your booking link so that the followers can book appointments with you. Why do we do this? The more people that see your booking link, the more appointments you get. People need to constantly be reminded, right? Someone might have been following you and now they're following you for a while. They still haven't booked in. Seeing the booking link on your story every single day, urging them to book, is obviously over time going to get them to become a client. Even if they're in your area and they haven't booked yet and they've been following you for a while, right? Might see a haircut they really like. They finally book in. That's the turning point. There are mainly like 2 to 3 types of posts that you should be doing daily within your stories, right? Also in your reels. 1, showcase story. What does that look like? Just something right here. Click to book. Super simple, right? So that's an easy, basic way that you can do it. So the second type is the exact same as before, but it has urgency. So it says 1 spot left for Monday, right? You're creating urgency. You're making it seem like there's even less supply than there is demand. And you guys definitely need to be doing these on both Instagram and TikTok, because you're doubling the chances of getting new clients and you're doubling the chances of having old clients rebook in with you, right? So if you guys aren't utilizing both platforms to double your chances of having a client booked, you're getting behind, right? Just super quickly, the last type of retargeting post is an urgency post, right? People need to be reminded more than they need to be told. So what does this mean? If this feels like it's getting old to you guys and like, oh, I'm spamming on my story every day, you know, no one's booking in, people are going to get annoyed seeing me promote myself every single day. No, this is your marketing. Marketing is the complete backbone of your business, right? People need to be reminded every day. People need to be told what to do. They need to be directed. They need to be nudged in the right direction. Otherwise, they're probably not going to do it. This is the last, most urgent type of post you can make, right? Out of town, 12th to the 25th. Get in while you can. Something like this just creates even more urgency, right? And people really are going to be reminded, hey, I'm not going to be able to get a cut from this time to this time. So if you're in this situation, make sure that you make these types of posts ahead of time so you can go ahead and fill out your schedule for the times that you need. Guys, again, marketing is the backbone of the business. It needs to be done daily. Guys, only need to be posting reels, but you need to be posting these retargeting posts. Like 99% of new clients are probably going to come straight from retargeting posts, right? They're going to click on your profile. They're going to see that you have a cut that they like. They're going to see that you're prompting them to book. It's super easy. And the last thing is, when you guys do these, they should not make you download an app. They should not take you to the Cut app. They should not take you to Booksy and make you download it. It should go straight to the website and you should be able to book on there directly. Here's another module explaining exactly how to set this up. But basics of retargeting posts, bottom line, you need to be doing them daily on TikTok and Instagram and creating urgency so that you're in your client's face and marketing to them daily. What is good, y'all? In this video, I'm going to break down really quick the optimal lighting setup if you're a barber, right? If you're a barber, this is from one of our clients, Jake. He has the best showcases in the game right now. He's converting clients at like a super high ticket price, getting over 50 new clients booked per month. That's $60 a cut currently, and it's just growing and growing. And the biggest reason is not because his haircut's right, it's because his showcases look so nice, the way he's able to showcase his work on camera. So quickly break down his exact lighting setup for you guys so you can go ahead and steal it. Starting off, he is in a private studio, right? So he does share with somebody else, but a lot of you guys will probably have shop lights like this you can see up here or just other ring lights. The biggest cheat code to this is, if possible, get this white backdrop right here, right? This is going to eliminate any glare. You guys can see right here, even on my camera right now, there's glare coming into the camera. By doing this white backdrop, you're going to eliminate any glare from your content that you're making, right? The second thing is he has two lights, right? One light is for the face, one light is for the fade. What does that mean? That means that there's not going to be any shadows on the face. There's not going to be anything kind of blocking the actual face of the client because that's what you want to see, right? But at the same time, he has this other ring light here that actually illuminates the fade and makes it glow, giving it that glow effect on the showcases, right? Something you guys can purchase is one of these stick lights right here like he has. These are going to be, you know, not take up as much space, and it's a still easy way to get that double lighting effect. But overall, you want to have, bottom line, two ring lights, one on each side, kind of pointing down, giving it that down lighting effect to really show off the client's jawline. This is the optimal lighting setup. Like I said, there is no better lighting setup. And if you guys are feeling nice, you can throw in the RGBs, put them to a unique color like how he has right here. That's really going to make the background pop out and give a unique color to your brand that people are going to start associating with you, your page, your haircuts, and your brand. What is up, guys? I'm going to go over a commonly asked question for you guys, which is what time is optimal to post. So overall, I just want to establish this at the beginning that the time you post at is like one of the most least important factors in determining whether or not your video is going to be successful, right? What time you post isn't really going to affect much, but at the end of the day, it's one of these things that we can optimize on top of everything else. But it could kind of be looked at as lower on the, tier of how important things are. So it's not as important. We want to focus, of course, if we go down here, what time should I post? I want to establish, guys, it is a standard that we post daily on both of our profiles, at least one content vehicle, and this is on top of the showcases that you're already posting. So guys, showcase on your story daily is not enough. We need to actually be going ahead and posting consistently on at least one content vehicle on both platforms, such as TikTok and IG. Once you start creating content, we're no longer doing showcases, but instead one of our content vehicles as well. Times will vary from person to person. Typically I've been trying to test out posting in the morning because I would see a heavy decline of views after 10 p.m. But again, this is not a rule for everyone. So I would recommend posting anywhere from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. your time. This is what I've been testing recently. It's been getting the best results as of now in the marketplace. Once you have results, every video will do about 50K views. This is for like TikTok. All right, TikTok is different than Instagram. So these rules kind of are for TikTok that I'm going over right now. Once every video is consistently doing over 50K views on TikTok, then you can actually focus on the posting time. But until then, what I would recommend is optimizing the content, because the content matters more than anything else. And TikTok isn't follower based, right? Like Instagram is. So again, the time isn't going to matter as much. compared to the posting times on IG. Like I said, IG does matter more because it's a follower-based platform. But for TikTok and IG, general rule of thumb is to optimize the content first, get results first, and then you can tweak these little things, right? Like I say, it's kind of like with anything, the foundation is more important, right? So it's like, I don't know, if you have the stock market and you know, you can get up by 0.1%. Well, if you don't have a lot of views to begin with, or you don't have a lot of money to begin with, you're not really going to be able to capitalize on these little boosts because you don't have the actual, you don't have the actual value, the meat behind it. I would check Keyhole to ensure what times work best to post on hour by hour. I'm going to be making a module soon on the software called Keyhole, where you can basically experiment with all the little insights, what hook, what second of your video bangs, right? What time. But until then, you guys actually invest into Keyhole. I'd recommend just using the Instagram or TikTok insights as well. Whatever hour is best to post in though, I would make sure that it's 20 minutes prior to the hour. What do I mean by that? It's because a lot of people post at the top of the hour. So by posting 20 minutes before that hour, you actually separate yourself from all the traffic of content. So for example, if I'm on Keyhole and it says my post performed better at 7 a.m., I would actually post at 6:40. And again, this is because people schedule their posts at the top of the hour, right? People use the top of the hour to get their time to post. So to avoid getting lost in all this content, just go up 20 minutes prior to the hour. Again, for Instagram, do not post after 1 p.m. Lately, I've been posting after 1 p.m. It's not doing as well. Do not post after 1 p.m. from now on Instagram, as most people will be at work, like I said, or doing the rest of their things. Again, you guys can invest into Keyhole. I'll have a tutorial on that coming soon if it's not already out, and it will ensure exactly what time works best for you and your content hour by hour. But again, I would actually post 20 minutes ahead, so whatever your insights are saying, go an hour before. But again, typically on Instagram, we want to do before 1 p.m. So again, guys, just to finish off, right, to summarize, the posting time is not very important. Don't get fixated on it. Focus on your content first, focus on getting results first, then we can tweak the little things and kind of boost your results up. But if we don't have results to begin with, it's very hard to actually get any return on investment from all the time that you're putting scrolling through trying to find the perfect time if we can't even get a banger without that. What is good, y'all? Today we'll be taking a look at specifically how to study. So when I tell you guys, go down, sit down, study, when I tell you guys that, this is exactly how you're actually going to go ahead and study. So I'm kind of just going to do a live page breakdown and get into some of the do's and don'ts right here of how to study barber content. But let's just take an example from one of our guys, Mike, right? Mike, if we scroll down on his page, we see a lot of these videos. If we click on what type, he's posted a lot of part ones. He's posting a lot of before and afters, and we're kind of just asking ourselves, like, okay, what is the basis of his page, right? He's at 2,000 followers. He hasn't really had that many spikes on here, but if we pull up his TikTok, all right, so we're on here, right? We're taking a look. He had 100K on this video, so some engagement here, some more engagement here, and then he's also posting conversion before and afters. So the first step is to actually check his booking and to see if this strategy is working for him currently, or if he still needs to put in more time, right? Or even if you take a look at this guy, he was a smaller creator that recently blew up. Right. So one thing I always like to do, I like to take a look at their booking links right here. Go to the booking link. Is he really? So he just went up on price. So it looks like he's not yet booked, but he is converting a decent amount. So we know that his videos are still converting. One thing, he's not posting on his story. So again, this is kind of just the pitfalls of other people we can learn from and be like, why is he not converting? Oh, he's not posting on his story. See him posting a lot of engagement, right? A lot of part ones. And this is just overall back to how to study, right? How to study, ask yourself questions, check what works, and ask yourself, does these barbers have the results that you want, right? Are they booked out at their price point? If they just went up, obviously they're not going to be booked out. But, if you go on their page and you see that they've been at the same price for a long time and they're not booked out, maybe they know how to go viral, but they don't know how to convert. So what is the takeaway? Well, the takeaway would be look at their engagement posts, look at what goes viral, copy what goes viral, but on their conversion post, maybe there's something off. So don't blindly copy somebody else's system/funnel. You always want to check what works, right? Ask yourself, do these people have the results that you want, and see what you can apply from them and what might be missing, right? Don't just blindly copy. So if I see that maybe he does need more conversion, he's posting 3 part ones in a row, to me, that means that he needs to work on these videos, right? And so maybe he needs better before and afters. Maybe he needs to post on his story more. Something is missing from his conversion. So if I'm studying his page, what I can study and take away is the engagement, the viral videos, right? How does he go viral? That's what I can learn from him. But maybe he's not the best person to study for how to convert, fuse it to clients. Do you see how that makes sense? Don't just blindly copy. Save videos for later. Watch back the videos multiple times. Observe engagement, keywords, right? If we go to his thing, what is he doing here, right? He's putting down right here. Okay, blah, blah, blah. right? He has the hashtags, the location. Overall, save videos for later, watch back multiple times, over engagement, keywords, and identify advanced strategies such as where this content will fit into their funnel. What do I mean by content funnel? Guys, go check the content funnel module out, explaining exactly breaking down the barber content funnel. But if you guys do have an understanding of the barber content funnel, ask yourself questions of how this fits into their funnel, right? Engagement versus conversion, how you can apply it. So just some basic studying tips for you guys. Number one is going to be intensity over volume, right? What does that mean? It means that 30 minutes of focused, purposeful, right, meaningful studying is always going to be better than just 3 hours. Make sure that when you're sitting down to study, you have conviction, you have intention, and you actually have like a purpose behind what you're trying to get out of this next 30 minutes going into it, right? Next 30 minutes, I'm going to look at, hooks. Make sure you have a plan going into it, and to sit down and doom scroll for 2 hours. Second biggest tip I can give you guys is split it into parts. So 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes at night, or even 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes at night, right? And then the last thing is going to be carbon copying versus optimizing. You guys don't always have to carbon copy the entire video, but a lot of you guys need to carbon copy more because that's what's going to actually get you the engagement that you need. Once you're at a spot where, you have some videos going for yourself, you don't need to carbon copy. You're going to be optimizing, having a point of optimization. What is optimizing? Optimizing just means taking certain parts from each video, right? So I could optimize a hook off of him, or I could optimize the story off of him, or I could optimize or steal this action clip right here. But I might not need to carbon copy the full video because the full video wasn't successful, right? Generally, you only want to optimize off videos that do well, but you can still study videos that don't do well so you can see the person's process. And then the last tip is just going to be setting a timer, guys. Make sure that you set a timer, you stay focused, and again, you have an intention of why you're studying. You're going into a study session with an idea of what you're trying to get out of it. So maybe in the morning you're studying engagement, and then at the night, for 30 minutes you're studying, how to go viral versus like how to convert. But you want to look at all these different things, right? Ask what the person that you're studying is doing well, and also look at what they're doing wrong if you can. The hardest part is to find what they're doing wrong, because you could easily look on here and say, wow, he's really good at blowing up. But if you look on his book, see he's not booked out, okay, where is he going wrong? These are the questions that you guys need to be asking yourself in order to get the most out of studying, in order to learn the most off of other people, be able to learn off their, successes and off their mistakes. What is good, everybody? Today I'm going to be talking to you guys specifically about feedback loops. Now, I'm sure many of you have already seen the module on how to study, how to get feedback, right? But after studying, you're actually going to need to come to me or anyone else for feedback. And so what is a feedback loop? How do we get feedback? How do we effectively get a feedback loop going? What is a feedback loop? How do we implement a feedback loop? I'm sure you guys have questions about this. Let's just dive straight into it. So for a feedback loop to even occur, right, you first must actually have the number so we can look at the output. So a feedback loop is where we're looking at the result. I give feedback based off the result, and then you actually make an adjustment and take action on the adjustment, and then we get a different result. So if we're stuck in a cycle of action, result, and there's no output, like we're not at the desired output, this is why a lot of times I say to test stuff, right? Because we're trying to find holes in the business. We're trying to find where along the pipeline we're getting stuck, right? Let's say we want to hit 10K a month. Let's say we want to charge, up our prices, and somewhere along the line we're getting stuck. We're going to figure out, okay, I will sit down with you and we'll just kind of go through everything. Like, is this in order? Correct. Is this in order? Correct. If not, we need to find out where the hole in the business is. So what can this actually look like? Well, if you send over a video, right? Let's say you send over a consultation, you would say, you would ask your normal feedback. I'm going to get into here at the end on how to ask for feedback, but let's say you send over the feedback, right? This simple concept, right? Send the feedback, get the feedback, and then you actually have to make adjustments and take action. This way we can just boom, 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 boom. Quickest way to improve is through a good feedback loop. So that means that there's a short amount of time from the conception of the idea to the execution. And as soon as you, take action and implement and get those results, you're sending them right back over for feedback. So the system here is do, get feedback, improve, and then repeat. And that's how you sharpen over time. Like I said, each time is going to make it like better, right? So if you're just posting blindly and just kind of guessing, it's not really going to get you anywhere. We need to actually look back, right? Look at the results that we got. And if they were good, make adjustments based off that. And if they were bad, we also need to make adjustments if they're not really where we want them. So most people obviously are going to hear the advice. They're going to take feedback and they're never going to act. But the ones who succeed are going to be the ones who apply the idea right away, right? We don't want to be getting feedback and then taking a few days to just put it off and, not actually implement the feedback. The shorter time between the feedback and the time you take action is how fast you're going to grow, right? So if you hear a tip today, you know, it says like an example, edit tonight, post tomorrow. Again, let's do this right now. So you guys could easily on your next video, send it over to me right now for feedback. I'm going to give you feedback on what to fix, and then make sure for the next video, when you're recording, you take action and improve it. So guys, again, send me your next video right now. This is a simple concept that I need you guys to understand. Send the video for feedback, get the feedback, take action, improve, and then we're going to just keep improving from there based off the results, right? So if we don't get the desired result, we're going to figure out why that is, and then make adjustments. But the biggest thing, how can you guarantee success using this feedback loop, is really just going to be don't stop asking for feedback and have the quickest possible time between receiving the feedback and actually making changes and implementing it. So here's a quick advanced tip for all of you guys regarding burner accounts and how you can kind of boost engagement by actually using a burner account to comment on your videos, right? And this works with any type of content in general where you're posting and you want engagement, especially after you post it, especially on Instagram. If you get engagement, comments, especially controversial ones within the first 5 minutes of posting, it's going to boost up your engagement by a lot. So obviously the ultimate goal is to have a lot of commenting as soon as you post. And this is why I'd recommend following a bunch of barbers, commenting on their videos, and they'll try and comment on yours when you first drop. It boosts up that engagement, right? Biggest thing is responding to all the comments as well. If we look at Jake right here, Jake is utilizing his burner account just to boost up his engagement by a little bit right here. Barbers say anything for content, he says, right? Bro did not have to do all that. So he's commenting brain rot on his own video just to kind of boost up the engagement, and it's getting just a little bit of an engagement boost. So guys, if you go on the burner account, right, as soon as you post a video, share the video with somebody on your burner account, save the video as in bookmark it, like it, comment, and then go back onto your main and reply to that comment. It's a quick little engagement boost that you can do. All right, so I've seen a lot of you guys asking for examples of keywords on TikTok. We're just going to go ahead and take a look at a quick example here. So with Jada Barber, what he did on this video, right? If we look at his caption right here on TikTok, utilizing keywords, client wanted the 16 guard buzz cut haircut, but I recommended him a middle part slick back with a low taper. He didn't know what haircut to get, so he came to the best barber shop in Chicago, and he came to the best barber in Chicago. He was so happy with the end result. Link in bio to book appointment. So rather than just putting Chicago barber, link in bio to book, he did all this. You still know where he's located at. He's located in Chicago, but you're also getting that call to action at the end. But notice how he spams the keywords here: 16 guard, buzz cut, haircut, middle part slick back, low taper. He didn't know what haircut to get, and the video got a decent amount of engagement. So again, this is kind of what it looks like for those of you guys who are more visual learners and want to see what it actually looks like implementing keywords on your TikTok. Again, this is what it looks like. And again, guys, this is mainly only for TikTok. As of now, this is subject to change, but Instagram doesn't really favor the style. This is more of a TikTok style. Also, if you guys are not including your location on consultations on TikTok, you are missing out. So remember to get the daily posts in. Remember to take 2 extra minutes to type out keywords on every single video. You can reuse the same ones. And kind of this is a little checklist for all the things you should be doing to go viral on TikTok. In this video, I'm going to break down for you guys exactly how I plan my days and set a standard operating procedure for myself throughout my work days as a barber for my workflow. This is how you keep track of every single task that needs to be done. You stay on task. You don't forget tasks, and wake up with a purpose and move intentionally and actually, know what you're supposed to be doing. So let's say that I'm cutting on a Tuesday, right? And again, this is on the App Store. I recommend using it on our phone. We're just going to be using it on the computer for tutorial purposes. But you're going to go ahead and add your task, right? So let's say you have haircuts, and that's the majority of your day. So the haircuts are going to be from, let's put hours. So adjust time. We can put it starts at 7 a.m., right? And we can adjust the time. 7:05. Let's say you're at the shop though from like 10 to 9 or 10 to 5, 10 to 5. And then we could put 10 a.m. So we're there 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., right? Go ahead and add this in here. Now we got 7 haircuts, 7 hours of work. Let's say that you go and hit the gym after, right? I'm gonna hit the gym at, I get off at 5. I'll hit the gym at 6, right? And that should take me max hour and a half. We can just put here 6 p.m. for the gym. You see how I'm planning out my days here? So we're done, right? We're going to go to the gym. That leaves me all this time in the morning, right? From 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. to get some stuff done. And then I probably have a little break here, right? You can obviously continue adding your meals. I'm going to put prepare posts for the day and posts on my story. That should really take, assuming that's already edited, 15 minutes. So I'm going to put that. I'm going to arrive to the shop at 10. My first cut's not till 10:20. So boom, right? And you can just continue doing this, wake up time, stuff like that, right? As you have more tasks, you want to add them in here and just plan a general hour that you're going to be doing each task. Helps you keep organized, helps you get stuff done, helps you not go days without missing inputs. All your inputs should be tracked here, and as long as you hit the inputs, right, you go ahead, check them off, boom, 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 right? You can just go ahead and get to the wind down, go to bed, repeat it all over. Again, tracking your days, planning out your days, and writing down tasks that are going to move the needle is essential. You guys can see mine for tomorrow. It's filled. So again, this is critical, guys, to running any successful business or to just being productive in general, right? Waking up with a purpose and making each day count, right? And feeling like you're actually getting stuff done. That's what's going to move the needle. That's what's going to grow the business. And it's absolutely necessary. So again, make sure you guys are planning your days. Bottom standard, right? Bare minimum. So you finally made it to the end of the free course. Knowing all the information on exactly what I did to get dozens of barbers to change their lives using the cash flow cut system. Charging a lot of money as a barber has literally taken me from working $12 an hour in high school at Chipotle to being 1 year out of high school doing $100 haircuts and making over $15,000 per month. And not only has it changed my life, but it's changed the life of dozens of other barbers that I've worked with, implementing this exact system into their business and helping them do the exact same. Barbers like Chunk, Jeff, and Larry aren't any different than you, charging more, making more, and working less. So guys, at this point, you really do have 3 logical options. Option number 1 is go back to scrolling. No, keep doing what you've been doing and charge $30 to $40 to $50 per haircut and wonder why all these other barbers are passing you up. Number 2 is you could take this information and try it to piece it together yourself. And that's completely fine. It's going to be slower, riskier, and probably end up costing you more in the long run. I know because I've tried doing this myself. Or the third option, you get the shortcut. Let me and my team implement this exact strategy into your business without all the fluff, without all the guessing, and actually get you those results that you've been meaning to get for a long time. Me and my team will help you step by step. And I'm so confident in this process that you literally have nothing to lose. I guarantee each of you guys a price raise within 90 days of joining the program. And if not, I will personally give you all of your money back and personally sit down with you and fix the issue. We'll build your content system, TikTok, and Instagram and help you build a custom game plan that actually converts your viewers into clients. I only work with barbers who are actually serious about growing and who are willing to show up every day and put in the work to do what it takes to grow. So if this sounds like you guys, you need help implementing all these strategies directly into your business without all the fluff and without all the time wasted, click the link below and reach out and see if we can help you. And hopefully if you're a good fit, I'll see you there.